Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're actually going to be talking about Casper network. As you guys know, this has been one of my favorite gems that I've found. A lot of individuals talking about it, and I will continue to make content on it because I know a lot of people have been waiting for more and more content on Casper. This asset is one of those gems that I could stand holding for an additional 3 to 4 years, whatever the case may be, right? If we're talking about a utility bull run that's going to be happening where we no longer pretty much rely on Bitcoin to take us to the moon or not. Obviously a lot of these layer ones and a lot of these DeFi NFT tokens, these utility gems are going to be the big hit. These are going to essentially be the Amazon of crypto. So ultimately, what is Casper and where does Casper lie here? Well, I've talked to you guys about Casper in the past, and I've always said that this is Ethereum 3.0 before Ethereum 2.0 is even here. And I still, pretty much stand by that. Now, obviously, we're going to be talking real quick about some, quick things. So first and foremost, I do want to mention the fact that Bitcoin has kind of just been ranging around the 64K mark. So it means that, honestly speaking, I think that we come down a little bit lower, but I do think that we'll have our nice little, weekly candle close today, and then we'll come down lower. And I know that that kind of sucks because Casper right now has been showing some signs of strength, but we are still hitting some resistance points. We're going to be talking about the chart for this, and we're going to be talking about where we can pretty much retest. I will most likely be buying Casper if we do get a nice little bottoming point at one of my zones, which I'll talk about in this video. So let's actually move on to that. But before we fully move on, I just want to ask, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys aren't new, definitely hit that like button as well, as it does help the channel grow. Also, if you guys do want to get my Casper exit strategy, you guys could go over to my website, NCashOfficial.com. I do have my Casper exit strategy and pretty much my overall plan with Casper, long-term and even short-term. Also, my Crusader Trading Bundle Pack is on sale, 20% off for 1 week only, so definitely check that out while the time is here. So in terms of Casper, my main focus point is just breaking this line here. This is major resistance going back to the 25th and the 26th of August. I honestly think that once we break this, right, it's a clear upward trend from there. Now, right now, we are in this massive overall consolidation point. We've been consolidating for a fairly long time. The last breakout point was going all the way back to August, and we've been consolidating since August. So right now, if we're looking at how many days this has been, pretty much, and I'm not even on the starting point, so there we go. So it's been about 99 days, almost 100 days of just pure consolidation on this chart. Now, where could we dip to if Bitcoin does allow it? Which I'm still suspecting that we could retest about lower 60s, possibly even maybe 58K. If we do get to 58K, we'll most likely retest this bottom line down here at around almost 10 cents, around like 9.5 cents realistically speaking. Now, if we do retest a little bit lower, I'm totally fine with it, and I'll honestly welcome it, especially if we retest about like 7 cents. That's going to be a no-brainer move to ape in. Like, I'm going to ape in pretty hard, and I'll pretty much keep you guys updated in the Discord as well. If you guys aren't a part of the free Discord, definitely hit it up. It's down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. Ton of free content in there that's very, informative. As a lot of the things that we're talking about right now in terms of Casper, we have an individual by the name of Encrypt30 in the Discord that does a ton of TA, especially on Casper. And, in terms of the vision here, we essentially just want to break above this point here, which is major resistance. Once we break that, we will retest the 18-cent mark up here at this point. And then pretty much once we break that, it's clear skies until about like roughly 30 cents, which is incredible from our current point because it's almost a 3x realistically, especially if you guys entered at like around 10 cents, which was my initial point that I got into. Now, we already know what's happened with the chart, and we already know where we could pretty much expect this. I'm expecting a $4 to $7 Casper by the end of this bull run. I know that that is a little bit more on the upside, but if you want a conservative price target, look more so for like $1 to $1.50 if you want. But this is a long-term hold for me. I don't really plan on any short-term pretty much price targets or anything like that. But I do also want to talk to you guys about some old news. Obviously, this goes back to April, but I do want to talk to you guys about this because I know a lot of people who are just getting into Casper or just watching the Casper videos on this channel probably don't know too much about this project or what they are doing. Well, first off, we go back to April 19th, and this is Big Token partners with Casper Labs to bring its data marketplace to the Casper network. In fact, they announced that its partnership with Casper Labs to migrate its infrastructure to the Casper network, the first live proof-of-stake blockchain built for enterprise adoption. Now, this is pretty cool because this scales its user base, and the Casper network's unique combination of high throughput, low gas fees, and decentralized governance provides the premier solution for Big Token's growth needs. Now, why do you think that they went with Casper Labs over something like Ethereum? Well, first off, it's the low gas fees, it's the high throughput. And realistically, yeah, is Ethereum decentralized? Sure, if you want to say that. But we do know that with this SEC lawsuit with XRP, a lot of things have been coming out, especially in terms of, if it is fully decentralized or not. Now, we do see here both Casper and Big Token are deeply committed to enabling users to own and monetize their own data in a decentralized environment. That is why this is the perfect Web 3.0 token, by the way, just so you guys know. And you guys know I love the Web 3.0 scene, $140 trillion market at scale. That's incredible, okay? Also, we want to talk more so about NFTs too, because check this out, right? Going back to September 1st, WiseKey's partner Casper Labs joins AWS Marketplace, expanding access to Wise.our NFT marketplace. Now, with NFTs, I've always told you guys how big NFTs are going to become. They are growing at a massive rate right now. Now, in terms of this is pretty much Amazon Web Services. It's not like they're partnered with Amazon, just so you guys know, but this is a part of Amazon, if you will. But this is, at the end of the day, all cloud-based NFT pretty much marketplace, which is great to see. Now, in terms of this, I do want to say the NFT marketplace has been growing at a rapid pace, and NFTs with Casper actually have been making some, word around. In fact, we did see here Casper celebrates third birthday with 50,000 NFT supporters. So, obviously, listen, Casper has a ton of support behind it, but it's no big surprise considering the fact that this goes all the way back to around like 2019 and even earlier. Casper has been in the makings for a very long time. In fact, check this out, right? We go, now actually no, not this, sorry. What is Ethereum? Casper is the implementation that will eventually convert Ethereum into a proof-of-stake blockchain, also known as Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum Casper explained on Binance Academy. Now, do you guys check out that date? Look at that. August 4th, 2019. So obviously this is pretty much still a newer, asset still by around, 2 years, if you will. But this still has a ton of upside potential because it is not even listed on Binance yet. And we already know that Binance knows about it. At some point in time, I do suspect that there will be mass listings of Casper very soon. Now, going back to the Web 3.0 things, in fact, shout out to Casper Labs Coin on Twitter, but we do see here, Casper built for Web 3 is coming. Casper aims to bring deep technical knowledge of Web 2 to the Web 3 world. Big days are approaching for Casper, who will have an important role in the transition from Web 2 to Web 3. And yes, I've discussed Web 3.0, especially with Hedera Hashgraph on this channel, a lot. You guys, like I said, you guys know that Web 3.0 is a huge concern for me because there's a ton of money that is going to flow throughout this entire market, especially with Web 3.0 growing at a rapid pace, and of course crypto being the heart and soul of it because this is the decentralized web at scale. Now, with this, we do see here, what is Web 3.0? Web 3.0 is the next generation of internet technology, which I've always discussed. What makes Web 3.0 superior to its precedents as well? It's all, decentralized. It's not around centralized, entities. And also, it's not so much competition. It's more so, how they could work together to really make an incredible just web overall. But we do see here, what is Ethereum 3.0? Ethereum 3.0 includes EWASM for smart contracts and follows on the 2.0 feature set. 2.0 includes CBDC or CBC, not CBDC. Sorry, I've been just focused on CBDCs all the time, but CBC, Casper, POS, and sidechains for scaling. We are the only protocol that is live with CBDC Casper. I always want to say CBDC, it's crazy. What is Casper's connection to Web 3.0? Casper is the first blockchain built for Web 3 and built for enterprise adoption. So what are the Web 3 developments, right? And we're talking about a lot of these partnerships. First off, Casper Labs and SJM Group partner to promote Web 3 adoption in the United Arab Emirates. A major milestone for Casper and Web 3 in this way. Web 3 will be adopted. The first project to collaborate with the government on a Web 3 adoption is Casper. Now, okay, with all this, we have a ton of, ecosystemal growth and all that kind of stuff, but we also see here we partnered with WiseKey, like I just mentioned. Again, this is more so for AWS Quick Start. It's a major milestone and provides seamless access to Web3 for developers worldwide. Again, huge innovation, huge partnerships, and there's a lot more to this. You guys can pretty much read this all day long. I mean, there's so much stuff on Casper that I've been talking about for a very long time now. But in terms of the entire ecosystem, right? We know that the team is backed by some superior leads. I've always, looked at the team in terms of a transparency standpoint to really kind of get a, base point on who we're dealing with. If I'm looking at a team and it's unnamed or it's not transparent or they don't have a good backing, I'm kind of going to stay away from a project. But Casper is one of those assets that are fairly significant in terms of the team experience. Just so you guys know, the CEO, or I believe he's a chairman, but essentially he's working with Energy Web Token as well, which we know has direct ties with Q&T, XRP, and multiple other assets around. So obviously the team has some major experience. He's also, I think he's doing something with like decentralized law firms as well, which I think that's incredible. Web 3.0 is going to be so much bigger than what most people think. Of course, the $140 trillion value for it is a little bit of a base point on what we could pretty much expect. We don't know if it's going to be 100% full and solid, but when we're talking about Casper right now, we're so early in terms of major listings. Like this should tell you that this is going to happen, right? Sooner or later, Binance will list this. It's a good buy here, in my opinion, and it really is. If you're looking at this, there's not too much downside from here. Ultimately speaking, I think that it's bottomed out 100% down here at around I think it's like 5 cents. Yeah, so it's like around 5 cents, but any sort of downside pressure that we do see will most likely retest either 9.5 cents or possibly 7 cents if, and like I said, if, Bitcoin will allow it. Now, with this also, we look at where Casper can kind of go. If we're looking at a 65x to get to Avalanche's market cap, which I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, dude, do you honestly think that it could achieve that? Yes, I do. I mean, this has 65x at around $8. I think that that's a fairly conservative price. And I'm not saying that that's a conservative price this bull run. I still say that $4 to $7 is, something that we could probably get to. Of course, we have to watch for, where the money flows actually go, but I think that this is fairly logical in the long-term span of things as well in terms of, Casper versus Avalanche. You guys could read a ton about this on gostaking.com and really kind of look at the comparisons with a lot of other projects too, like they do, ADA and stuff like that. There's very good information on all of this, and you like I said, always do your own research as well. I can't do everything in terms of, doing a full breakdown because the video would be like 40 minutes long, and pretty much nobody wants to sit here for 40 minutes and hear me talking about, a project with all this, information. Of course, that would be, a good point to do, but it's just way too long to keep people, attracted to the video. So always do your own research. I could only do so much, but I will say this. Casper at about $8.23 is fairly reasonable. I've always said, $7 to like $4 to $7 is a fairly conservative point anyways, but if you want to do more conservative and pretty much risk off, $1 to about $1.50 is totally fine. And I do completely agree with Kevin Cage on this. I just said only if you understand just how huge Casper is. Until it pops, we secretly accumulate as much as possible. Big pages will shill Casper after it has already done a 10x. For now, stuck in accumulation until the pop, and that is exactly what we are doing. Once we get above this point and pretty much retest some, highs here, once we break 30 cents and we start making the rounds, that's where a lot of people are going to jump into this, and they'll push us fairly high. Obviously, who knows where price discovery could get us. When we're talking about the all-time highs on Coinbase and stuff, it's like $40. I don't expect to get to $40 or $66, which is the ICO price, anytime soon. But I will say this. I think that $7 for the maximum target by the end of this bull run is a fairly conservative spot. But like I said, if you do want to risk off $1 to $1.50 is a fairly safe position. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.